The first Super Bowl of the new decade, Super Bowl 54, is underway. This fielded at the 2. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. Striking first in any game is very important, but on this stage, the biggest of stages in the Super Bowl, that's huge.
You fully expect the other team to battle all the way through, but when you're the one setting the pace, jumping out in front, that has to feel great for the entire organization.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
Here we go, here we go.
Garoppolo after the fake give to Breida. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A gain there of 30 big ones. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What, does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one again.
And now Garoppolo lost the football.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's second at a country mile. Garoppolo now. He's going to float this one deep right side. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And now running right through it. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. With the first touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Play action, Garoppolo. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Looking for Pettis, but that's intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick, and he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
But to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline. And now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
Earlier, Charles, you and I talked about Pittsburgh's rough start to the season, that 33-3 loss to New England. And you mentioned it's not going to get any easier with the schedule coming up. What's next? They're home against Seattle?
Yeah, home against Seattle. That's a monster game for them.
Look at this. Middle of the field, a breakaway. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Conner, 33 yards. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And that makes the score 21-0. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. 1 play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. Oh, and now he bowls him over.
Let's go. Do it.
Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. He was looking that time for Dante Pettis, and it's second down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. Now a play fake. Garoppolo. Deep ball for Goodwin. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Steven Nelson able to get a hand in coverage.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Cam Hayward, always a force, got back there for the sack. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. And this may be a big early turning point in this Super Bowl. They're going to go for it on fourth down here. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And this is going to be incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late-game situation, maybe even fourth and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way. Now big hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Escaping the pressure, and the pressure gets to him again. D Ford, he's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
Now Ben on third and long. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's fourth down.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Get a nice lead, you should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
They'll try and throw for it with Roethlisberger. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster.
Brendan, let's file this play away for later. Let's note this play because, to me, it's not out of the question that the decision to pass up the 3 there could come back to haunt them later on.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't. They got his man complete. A big play there for the Niners. 51 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. Here's Garoppolo to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Matt Breida, 31 yards as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
Well, since we don't have a rooting interest in this one, neither one of us wanted to see this one get out of hand too early. Here we are in the first quarter. That was an important response for them to score already down 21.
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. They begin on the ground here with Connor. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Roethlisberger. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. 11 yards there, 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball.
Play fake to Connor. Now Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 47. On 1st and 10 is Connor. The 20. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A big pickup of 38. He had his eyes on the end zone once he hit the secondary, but they're finally able to slow him down.
Yeah, and I've got to look at this one from the defensive point of view. You just mentioned finally able to slow him down. They've got to figure out a way to make that at the point of attack, at the line of scrimmage, because once he gets through, he's shredding them.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll run here with Connor, and he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Second down and goal. Roethlisberger. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. He's at the 30, 10, and they will score. It's a 49er touchdown.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. He's got it. They're back within a score. It's 21-13. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
A gain of 3, second down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Roethlisberger to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. And he's got Moncrief. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
They go play action with Roethlisberger. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And complete to Moncrief over the middle. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 32-yard line.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last two plays.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Roethlisberger. This one complete, right side to McDonald. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. Pretty solid coverage there by the All-Pro Richard Sherman, able to get a hand in.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down. To throw here, Roethlisberger. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Vance McDonald there to make the grab. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Yeah, he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Extra point now by Boswell. And the lead is up to 15 now. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. To throw, it's Garoppolo. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead opens up now to 22 points. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
Here we go.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Well, one thing's for sure. They're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. From 8 yards out, and the 49ers get a score closer.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes...
And he takes off with it. It's a fake. And the ball is knocked out, and he is not going to get in here. So the decision to go for two does not pay off as they're unable to cut any further into their deficit. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger heading back out there. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the one interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis.
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
They'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Roethlisberger.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And he comes back with one complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Roethlisberger now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. Ben to throw again. And that is incomplete. James Washington was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Well, Charles, as we peek back to week 1, what would you say were the positives for some teams or individuals that you took away?
Well, it started on opening night. Green Bay and their defense, not necessarily Aaron Rodgers and what they did going into Chicago and winning. Kansas City, they picked right up where they left off with Patrick Mahomes. Explosive on offense. How about Baltimore and Lamar Jackson? He's not just a single-wing tailback, folks. He's a quarterback. And Tennessee, going into Cleveland, Marcus Mariota, Derrick Henry put up 43 points on the Browns.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 30.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
Now this throw, it's complete. It's Moncrief with it. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Completes it to Moncrief left side. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
That catch good for 5. It's third down.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air. Because that...
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. From 8 yards out. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
So another third down conversion, and now they've got a first and goal. To throw again is Roethlisberger. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. Ben Roethlisberger with his 3rd touchdown of the Super Bowl. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
But this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go.
Oh, and it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up. Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Let's go. Let's bring it.
On play action, it's Garoppolo. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time. I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall.
Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And into the end zone, a pick 6 for the 49er D as as they score the touchdown. Charles, we've seen them target one of their main weapons time and time again. Maybe they went to that well too many times there.
Yeah, and it's so difficult to determine how many times is too many, because how many times have we seen a team go and play and say, until they stop us, we'll keep going. Well, they got stopped on that one, and it cost them 6 points.
Gold to add the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to 15. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. James Conner and the Steelers ready to get their next drive going. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up.
And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 35. What a first half this has been offensively. I mean, defensively, what do you do when you're getting torched like this?
Well, these receivers are absolutely wearing them out. So two thoughts come to mind. One, get some oxygen. You fill up your lungs a little bit. And number two, talk to your guys up front. You need a pass rush.
Now big hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. He tried to buy some time to the right. So, Charles, when a guy gets out of the pocket, what's the focus of the quarterback?
Most of them keep their eyes downfield. They want to try and make a play throwing the ball. Some of them, they want to tuck it and go. But when they scramble, in this case, as you said, to the right, you're cutting the field in half. So good defenses kind of converge in that spot, and they don't give you much territory to throw the ball. He had nowhere to go with it. Ends up getting the ball stripped.
A reminder, coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of the Super Bowl from Jonathan Coachman and the crew in Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. He's going to float this one deep right side. And now here is another interception. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. And the 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Here's Roethlisberger. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me,
now big hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. He had gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
Well, indeed, trying to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 27-yard line.
So we've come upon halftime. So the halftime show of the Super Bowl abbreviated, ready to go for the second half. The halftime show, quite a spectacle, but it's back to football for the second half of Super Bowl 53. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Dee Ford, his second sack of the night.
How about that, partner? His second sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And good field position coming up here. The football at the 12-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Richard Sherman. Again on the play.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
1st and 10 at the 12-yard line.
They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. Now a loose football. Coleman lost it, and it's picked up by the Steelers. Through an opening, and there he goes. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or 2 shy of midfield. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones at a 1st down.
Here we go.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
You can't block me.
Now Ben going to give this one to Connor. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Defensively, Jimmy Ward in on the stop.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now this throw caught left side, and down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
A gain of 6 there on first. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Looking to throw again on second down. Roethlisberger. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Check. Watch the before. You must be
Roethlisberger now to throw on third down. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Zach Gentry there to make the grab. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Well, they sucked the defense in with a play fake, went over the top. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And he floated one out there incomplete. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for...
And he loses the football a second time. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they argue.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Nick Bosa, credit him with his sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Now big hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
Brandon, that's the third time he's fumbled so far in this game. And, you know, you can make excuses for each and every one of them. But the bottom line is he's got to take care of it better. And now that he's shown a propensity for fumbling it, just think about what the defenders are trying to do.
Yeah, well, guys hate one fumble, twos, oh, my goodness, 3 or more. Wow.
Just doesn't make any sense, does it?
Deep ball for Goodwin. That's caught inside the 20. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Marquise Goodwin, 50 yards. And the forced fumble defensively leads to 6 points for the Niners. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there.
Now Garoppolo lost the football, and it's picked up by the Steelers. He's at the 50, the 40, 20, 10, 5, and can you believe this? It's 2 points the other way on the fumble return. Boy, that got pretty close to disaster. Going for 2, you cough it up. They almost returned it all the way to the other end for 2 for themselves.
You think electron ball security is in order here?
Absolutely.
And it's not just taking care of it. It's what you just talked about. What can result when you don't take care of it? They almost gave up a score.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back. Out onto the field. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. The turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
That's the relief that you still have the lead, but coaches look at what if and what it should be. Turning the ball over when it...
Rudolph loses the football. It's out. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. And now 3 drives, 3 fumbles.
What's amazing about it is when we go around and watch practices, how many times do we see them put that sleeve over a football now to make it more slippery and hard to handle? It's almost like they're playing with that sleeve on the ball right now. Was that 3 drives?
Yep.
3 fumbles?
3 fumbles.
It's time to change our luck some way, somehow. Focus, concentration, you'll hear those words on the bench in a big way right now.
He was trying to dance in around the sideline, but fell just a couple of yards short. Still, he's got him in great position.
He certainly does. They did a nice job keeping him from getting into the end zone, but they're definitely back on their heels.
Now Garoppolo lost the football, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but that's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues.
Let's put him on the punches. Let's put that team on the punch. Slam, slam, slam.
They start with a give to counter. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now it's the backup Rudolph. He's going to float this over the middle deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target, and it's 3rd down. It's been a struggle for him accruing yards in this game passing the football, so there he said, hey, I'm going to try to chuck it deep, but another incompletion.
Has to be a little bit frustrating because of what you just described. It's been a struggle for him here in the second half.
He's got a man complete, and all the way to the opposite 49-yard line. A big play that time for Pittsburgh, and even 40 yards.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
Now Rudolph on first down. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. He's got it at the 15. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That one good for 37 yards.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there, and he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
On 2nd and 10, Rudolph. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Rudolph looking to throw it. Catch up to him and take him down. Jeez, where was he going? A huge loss there. Eric Armstead in there to drop him, and that is the 7th time tonight that he has gone down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Here's Jordan Berry now. And no room for air. And from their own end zone, it's a fake. And, oh, that is going to be a safety. And here's where I'm perfectly happy to defer to my analyst and let him analyze this one.
I don't get it.
That's the analysis?
That's the analysis. I don't get it. I mean, you're on the other side of midfield. Maybe. But a fake punt way down here, you want analysis? Ridiculous.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time, fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we can put some points up and have a little momentum going.
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Touchdown, 49ers. Marquise Goodwin. Second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the 49ers make some inroads here on that deficit. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for two.
It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12.
Well, they tried to get two and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's James Conner now as he trots back onto the field. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. Well, you don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing.
And got his man complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. It's a gain of 34.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Here's Rudolph. He's going to float this one deep right side. This is caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. James Washington, 41 yards. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play. And just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Terrell Edmonds comes flying in from safety for the sack.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
After the sack on 1st down, Garoppolo. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Steelers. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
Well, NFL quarterbacks have learned the hard way. You're not going to get rich throwing against this guy. He's definitely too good. And this is now his second interception of the ball game. And if I'm running the offense, I've got to tell my guys, you've got to go work on the other corner.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. Wait, Amy! Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Go ahead, man.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. They'll find Goodwin here on the right side. An excellent gain, 35 yards. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ball game.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Coleman. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
Watch the screen, watch the screen.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Marquise Goodwin with his 3rd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. Well, yes, that's his 3rd touchdown catch, which is very impressive, but on the scoreboard, they're still struggling.
So safe to say that without him, my goodness, yikes, they are in major league trouble. He's doing his best to try and keep them in the game.
Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite, but in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one.
And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this. Corner. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. 1 quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. He sets to fire deep. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. They set themselves behind the chains, trying to get it all back in 1 play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
He's going to float this one deep right. And my goodness, another interception. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in the game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. And now here's another interception. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And give him now 4 interceptions in this game. That's only the 3rd time this has been done since the year 2000.
I think that tells you how much better teams have gotten at throwing the football. Because if you go all the way back to 1960, 12 times before that, there have been guys who've gotten 4 interceptions or more in a game. I mean, most recently, since 2000, Delta O'Neal and D'Angelo Hall.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. George Kittle, the Pro Bowl tight end, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
Here we go.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage.
Here we go.
But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire...
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And all the gamble fails. It's incomplete. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time, 1-play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
And off his back foot, he'll heave this one deep. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step 1. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still a 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. Garoppolo now, first down throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Garoppolo. Flushed out right. And now here is another interception. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. The number 7 usually lucky here, not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he'd won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game...
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Another try after the first down sack. Roethlisberger. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on first down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off, not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on 3rd down, makes it manageable now.
On 3rd and 1, it's Roethlisberger. Here as he's taken down. Nick Bosa able to finally wrestle him down for what's just going to be a huge loss, and it takes us to 4th down as well.
Now that was something, and it wasn't good. In one play, you've gone from being in the red zone to maybe out of field goal range. Totally inexcusable.
The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down? Here's Roethlisberger. Now been hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he will bring this one back. It's a fumble return for the 49er touchdown. And what we just saw, very, very rare. We only had 5 of those in the first 50 Super Bowls.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and we just saw it happen again. Extraordinary.
The defense has been good, and they were good again there. Now Gold for the extra point. Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is taken near the 13.
the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
And now out come the Steelers. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. It's Connor as they stay on the ground. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
On 2nd and 12, Roethlisberger. Now bad hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
And now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? After the fumble recovery, it's Garoppolo. He's going to float this one deep right side. And my goodness, another interception. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks him. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8.
The last time we saw 7, 2001, right?
Yeah. Ty Detmer.
He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8, are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
I don't know. It has not been good. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. But it's going to be 2nd down. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all, and to me it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Accelerating, and off he goes. 30, past the 20. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 59 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Check. Watch 54. Let's go, D.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Washington. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. James Washington, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the interception by the Steeler D leads to a touchdown.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Oh, this is a touch cruel here. They've got the big lead. Now they're going for the jugular with the onside kick.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. 180! Go! Get hot!
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Bud Dupree in there to get him. That is the 6th time that they have sacked him tonight.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around.
Here we go.
6 sacks given up in this one.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. To throw is Garoppolo. And now he'll turn, and off his back foot, he'll heave this deep. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Now, that turnover might just about do it here. 4th quarter, the lead that you've got, they can just run the football, run the clock.
Exactly right. They played smart, couple of first downs.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Kwan Williams. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it. And the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke.
And now here's another interception. Picked up by Steven Nelson. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window? Well, this is taken in. It's complete. 36 yards on the play. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence, because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
So that play much needed there as they're all the way up near the 40 for a 1st and 10. Roethlisberger. Now been hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. To try again after the sack. Roethlisberger, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Well, call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Jason Verrett.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. From midfield, here's Garoppolo. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or two shy of midfield.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. He's going to try and go deep again. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, and my goodness, another interception. Picked off inside the 10, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Garoppolo to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Cameron Sutton. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense, but they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Again, a run with Connor. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 3rd down, it's Connor. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football, and we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day.
Right there, 54 miles. Watch the out, watch the out.
Oh, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Tackled that time by Jarquiski Tart. The Pittsburgh Steelers have won the Super Bowl, and the Lombardi Trophy is going back to the Steel City.